Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for giving me a chance and stopping by. I'm Prepping by Faith, and we're going to be talking about how the world is just completely upside down. There used to be a point in time where certain things were just not done in public, where people attempted to sort of hide their crazy somewhat at home. There might be things that they did in private that were a little bit out there, but they were kept hidden. I feel like we are entering a time in our country and the rest of the world, really, where anything goes. And I'm not just referencing the transgender community either, it goes beyond that. If someone wants to identify as a tree and state that they shouldn't have to move, they are perfectly justified in doing so. We are in a world of redefining everything from pronouns to behavior to societal norms. If you feel threatened by another party, you simply scream, "This is my truth," and the entire world has to come to a screeching halt so that you feel validated. Hard work and tenacity are not rewarded, while crossing a border illegally is. If you've paid your bills on time and kept your credit score in good standing, you are suddenly penalized to assist those who didn't value theirs. People feel empowered and emboldened to act any way that they want to. Absolutely everything is coming out of the closet, including pedophilia. And because normal societal cues no longer apply, that leaves many of us feeling some level of anxiety when we have to interact with others, whether that's in the workplace, at a grocery store, at a restaurant, or any other public space that would require contact with those that we may be somewhat unfamiliar with. The problem goes beyond cancel culture, censorship, and being let go from your employer for taking a different stand. It could be downright dangerous. It is becoming increasingly unsafe to utilize an Uber, a taxi, or be the one employed by Uber or the taxi service. So, how do we remove a lot of the anxiety and attempt to mitigate elements of surprise? That's what I want to talk about in this video today. First of all, I believe that we need to be covering ourselves and our loved ones in prayer every day before we go anywhere. Prayer is so powerful, and we should never discount its effectiveness. Second of all, we need to better familiarize ourselves with visible exits and potential places for cover should any incident occur. We need to carry some form of self protection method at all times and know how to utilize it. We need to be more aware of another person's body language and when someone's behavior is becoming more threatening. There are things to watch out for, like bald fists, pacing, shifty eyes, sweating profusely, angry hand gestures, and of course, yelling. Watching where their hands go for an attempt at a weapon grab is also really important. Ensuring that someone who you don't know is not in your personal space, I think, is also an important practice. Now, your personal space is anything less than 4 feet. I would personally advocate for keeping them at a greater distance than 4 feet if possible, because that distance is very easy to close in a short amount of time. I know this one is easier said than done, depending on if you are in a crowded public place, but there are other things that you can do to better avoid these situations and protect yourself. Crime and violence is only on the rise. So, learning these things now could very well save your life or the life of a loved one. One of the most dangerous places for a crime to take place, in my opinion, is in an enclosed small space with a stranger, whether that is a vehicle being operated by an unknown entity, or if you are the one picking up the unknown entity and they are a passenger in your back seat. It could be something as innocent as dropping off a food order to someone who happens to be a part of the MS-13 gang and you never come home. So, how do we protect against those situations? I think we need to start weighing convenience against a potential threat and determining if there is another option. If you currently work for Uber or DoorDash or Lyft or any other entity, make sure that you really familiarize yourself with their policies about self protection and determine what you are allowed to have on you for self defense. If you need a ride to an airport or a different destination, consider driving your own vehicle and parking it in the extended parking garage in a well lit and heavier flow traffic area. Don't park on the very outside of the garage where thieves have a greater opportunity for a break in. Use common sense and don't leave items of high value locked away in your vehicle. If you can get a family member or a friend to drive you and pick you up, utilize that option every time. If you're going on a business trip, consider renting a vehicle while you are there rather than using a taxi or an Uber to get to your destination. If you choose to utilize a service like DoorDash for food delivery, ensure that you pay and tip through the app and acknowledge the delivery driver through your closed door. Wait until that driver leaves before picking up your food from your doorstep. As the weather warms up, there are many more solicitors that are going to be in your neighborhood. So don't open your door for anyone just because they have on a uniform that looks as though they are representing a specific company. Pretend you aren't home and do not answer the door. If you're interested in a promotion that someone is offering, take the initiative to contact them yourself and schedule a time for them to meet you and come out. You never know who is scouting out your home for a possible break in or who has other malicious intentions. We need to use wisdom in every circumstance. Many people are much more volatile now because of their inability to handle the pressures of life. You don't know if they have experienced a recent tragedy in their life, lost a job, and are in deep financial distress. There are many that will also lie to Uber or Lyft, etc. And you really don't know who you are getting in the vehicle with. If the individual opens the account pretending to be a family member who that vehicle is also registered with, it is easier for them to cheat the system than you think. This actually recently happened to my brother when he went on a business trip. You need to understand that as times get more desperate, people will do more unthinkable things, especially if they feel that they have no other choice or no other option. You need to use greater caution when interacting with others, especially those who you don't know. And always remember to call on the name of the Lord if you're in a volatile situation and in distress. Preparedness goes beyond just stocking food and supplies and being prepared to defend yourself, as well as practicing situational awareness, de escalation tactics, and ensuring that you don't place yourself into dangerous interactions in the first place are all going to help you to become better prepared. So, if you guys have gained value from this video today, please give me a like, share, and subscribe. And remember to pray, prep, and put God first. God bless.